stupid. Yes. Yeah. Look at me. There I am on TV. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm drooling. So why do companies scold while thousands of jobs fold? By now, we know that the average American beer drinker does not look like this. After all, we prefer our beer nuts to be in a bowl. After Anheuser-Busch hired Dylan Mulvaney to promote Bud Light, sales are now down almost 25%. And now the company is even talking about redesigning the labels. Here's the new label. And actually, here's my suggestion. I mean, let's be honest, she seems like a barrel of laughs, or at least two barrels. And now another company seems to be messing with their core audience. Here you have 81-year-old Martha Stewart on the cover of this year's Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Yes. And I'm just going to say it, that's not bad for 81.
No, sir.
And she's actually a woman. You know, Martha has some wrinkles, but they're not on a scrotum. An underrated word, if you ask me. Meanwhile, transgender pop star Kim Petras is also on another SI cover. And I know what you're thinking. Who? Exactly. Name recognition or any recognition at all really doesn't matter as long as you tick a box. And this one ticks a box, or rather a package. See, it's not for you, it's for them, the marketing team, trying to score points with corporate do-gooders and activists. If you worry the product doesn't sell, then you're a transphobe, or at least a trans fat. So gone are the days of classic SI. You know, with stacks in the barber shop, and each issue was coveted like a roll of Charmin in a chili factory. And that swimsuit issue, every year it got passed around like a hypodermic needle in the subway. Oh, everybody wanted it. But it's clear those customers of the past, your uncles, dads, and granddads, they were just awful people. They're gross, sexist pigs. Let's be honest, and it's time we made them pay for working hard and fighting wars and just being decent people. Because we're such better people now. We think crickets are better than steak, and criminals are just victims of oppression, and of course, men make better women. These new marketing people are way better than everyone who came before. Because as Miller Lite points out, those creeps, they put ladies in bikinis.
Women were among the very first to brew beer ever. Centuries later, how did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers of beer? They put us in bikinis. Wow, look at this. Wild. It's time beer made it up to women. So today, Miller Lite is on a mission to clean up not just their the whole beer industry's.
Wow. The company now says women in bikinis shouldn't be forced to mud wrestle to sell beer. I know, I agree. So let's go with Alfredo sauce. But they weren't forced to do anything. They were paid, and if you didn't like it, you don't have to do it. That's what I say to the interns on Back Shave Sunday. The Miller Lite ad premiered just weeks before Mulvaney's Bud Light videos popped up. And they saw how that played out, so they tried to bury their own ad like it was a former Clinton associate. They acted just like druggies, flushing down their stash because the cops were at the door, except the cops were actually their customers. So how did this happen? Well, all these nauseating lectures are now masquerading as ads. Are the colleges churning out too many useless women's study grads so they end up in companies demanding tampons in men's rooms and jock straps in the women's? They view buyers as insects, stupid, gross, easily manipulated, someone to be punished, not celebrated. Like when that Gillette ad from a few years back offered a caricature of masculinity, suggesting bad behavior was the norm among men. They switched their slogan from the best a man can get to use these to slash your wrists. You male oppressors. So why does one company after another keep alienating their customer base? Corporate execs are easily manipulated by woke grads into doing things antithetical to success. They embrace a short-term virtue signal over long-term reward. If they never actually talk to the people who buy their stuff, they can fool themselves into believing their friends and professional peers are the real world. They can tell themselves they're making a difference if only those stupid customers would repent. By the way, did you notice Miller Lite didn't mention their most popular ads, which included famous jocks and sports personalities like Dick Butkus and John Madden? That's right, alpha males that appealed, I know, surprise, to men. Not a single scrawny, chinless Seth Meyers among them. And you know the ad agency who made that Miller's anti-sexy screed hire nothing but beautiful women for ads that target women. There isn't a single homely broad selling shampoo or makeup. And that makes sense. It's like buying hair care products from a bald person. Bottom line, scolding people for being people is a lousy way to sell products. And now they're so surprised when it actually backfires? I'm sorry, you can imagine where this is all headed.
All right, gents, let's go over the marketing strategy for our new female products. Nobody knows how to sell to a woman like a man. Now, Steve, what's the update on those sports bras?
I'm just not sure this is going to look good on me at the gym.
Great point. Johnson, what's the latest on the nail polish?
Well, this color's very summery, and I'm more of a winter palette.
Excellent point. Any more updates on the female products?
Sir, I was thinking.
Oh, no. Thank you. Shh. Anyone else?
Yeah. This maternity wear definitely isn't agreeing with my curves like I thought it would. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that's all for today.
Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's like a timing belt, moves fast, keeps cool, and lives in her car. Host of the Fox True Crime Podcast, Emily Campagno. Beneath that gruff exterior is a gruff interior. Former NYPD Inspector and Attorney Paul Morrow. Like a Rubik's Cube, she's colorful, complex, and 49 years old. Fox News contributor, Kat Timm. And he's damaged more men than Taylor Swift. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Tyrus. Emily, in case people don't realize, you were a Oakland Raiders cheerleader, and you never got knifed.
No.
No, that's good for you.
Only in the hazing when we got jumped into the team.
Yes. But, so you were an SI fan. I imagine you read Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, I mean, I love that stuff, and we've talked about that. I was in part of the Maxim online, you know, the cheerleader section, whatever. So I love this, and what I feel that Miller Lite, for example, has gotten wrong is that they present that you have to be an or. You know, you can only, apparently to them, you can only be a brewer. You dig in the dirt, or you wear bikinis and you're feminine and you're sexual. I mean, I have a small family winery too that my dad operates. I dig in the dirt, and I also wear bikinis, and I love looking at ads with women in bikinis selling beer. I have no problem with it.
You wear a bikini when you're digging in the dirt. I think America needs to know.
That's a new ad.
Yes.
So for them, though, it's only one or the other. The feminine M&M has to have sneakers now. She's not allowed to have agency over her own choices to choose to be sexual, to choose to be feminine. And the problem here is that, you know, it's not just the woke corporate social media mob. These companies are actually answering to that Consumer Equality Index. There's actually the Human Rights Campaign that created an entire manufactured equality index that rates these companies. And according to that score that they get, that's the value of their stock.
Right.
That's the value of whether they're applauded and put in certain advertising bundles for employees. So for them, it actually has a financial value. But what they're forgetting in all of this is the consumer. And that's why Miller Lite and Bud Light's stocks and sales have plummeted. Because we hate this. Give me back the women in the bikinis.
I am equally outraged that that female M&M has lost its agency. You know, Paul, you and I are roughly the same age, give or take a decade. I mean, I don't want to overestimate the decline of SI, but damn, remember at its heyday, what a great magazine it was? Everybody subscribed to it. Everybody had, it was in every part. And now it's like nobody reads it. Probably social media has something to do with it, the internet, but, you know.
Yeah, it was a must read. So, you know, let's take a step back. What's the common, I always ask myself why, right? It's the most important.
You are a philosopher.
I'm that way, you know, I mean, I was brought up that way. But sincerely, I mean, if you look at the common denominator here, right? All right, you know, you have all of these woke companies doing what they're doing, and you have to say to yourself, guys, it doesn't work economically, so why are you doing it, right? So what is the target is really what you have to ask yourself, and doesn't it feel like revenge? It feels to me like someplace in the deep, dark past, some caveman knocked the woman on the head, grabbed her by the hair, dragged her into a cave, and all the men now are paying for that, right? It's like the thing that your wife does where she says to you, you know what, remember that you said to me last spring?
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of that. And you have to say to yourself, why? It has that feel, and I really feel like at this point, somebody's made the calculus that men are just in the way. The traditional role of men are in the way. And the reason for that is control. We're in the way of the complete control of the 8 people on each coast, because this is not a large group.
No.
The 15 people total who have decided right now that this is what we have to do. We have to drink beer from Mulvaney. And nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
But you will obey.
Yeah. And even if you don't like it, you can't talk about it.
Well, if you do, you're a transphobe or whatever it is this week, and none of us can keep up.
Yeah, it's a sense that Kat, I always feel like there's like what Paul says, a sense of vindictiveness behind this. And I even when, you know, men ran advertising in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s.
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. They weren't negative about women. I mean, I know you're going to explode.
It's funny that you brought up the Gillette ad because you inspired me to reshare the rant that I went on when everyone was going crazy about how men were under attack. Literally every ad ever is like, the entire beauty and fitness industries are just telling women they're not good enough.
But they do focus groups.
I will reshare
that. They do focus groups with women who tell you what they want. They don't want something sold from a woman that they can't aspire to be.
I'm going to just reshare that. But also, I thought that the Martha Stewart Sports Illustrated cover was actually quite thought-provoking. It proved to me that age is just a number, because you look at it and you think, that woman is older than Joe Biden.
And looks better in a bikini.
I mean, look at, I don't even think he could sit like that.
No, I don't think so.
Only when he has to pee. That was for you.
I mean, I guess it is inspiring, too, to know that I, too, can look like that at 81 if I just make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Exactly. And you need, like, an airbrushing machine the size of a 747.
I mean, I'll be dead. Yeah. I won't make it to 81.
Well, on that up note, Cyrus, you're a fan.
Oh, I'm a huge fan, and she's a fan.
Yeah.
She's part of my group. And anyone who knows, and I've had the pleasure of being in her office when I was bodyguarding for Snoop. We came on her television show where she was cooking. I know it's not a sex story. I'm sorry, nothing.
It could be.
But she was so kind and so OG cool. She literally said, "Hey, come with me. Let me show you something." Again, not a sex story. Big guys, we don't get that. And she brought me in her office. I know, it's not a sex story. And I go in her office, and she clicks on the lights, and she says, "Take a look at all my Emmys." And I was like, damn, she had one everywhere. Yeah. And then there was pictures of all this this really attractive woman. I almost said hot chick, but I apologize. But no, hot chicks all over the walls, right? And she's like, that's me. Look at me. She was a 10 before there was a metric system. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, Raquel Welch didn't have on Martha Stewart back in the day.
How dare you?
You need to check it out.
How dare you?
You had to be there. You were in your, mid-20s? So you should have checked that out. And you look around the thing, and then she said to me, "Can you believe someone divorced me?" And I remember, I cannot. Like, she has been hot for decades. She even went to jail, got prison stripes. Like, there is no one cooler than Martha Stewart. So I will be buying that magazine. Absolutely.
You know, I think she was throwing it out there for you. I think she wanted you, and you did not react.
You know, I'm often asked if there was ever a hall pass, if I could have it. That's my hall pass. Sorry, Snoop.
Wait, he's your hall pass?
No, they do TV shows together.
Oh, okay, sorry. I don't know.
They're friends.
Hey, oh, got it. I've got it.
He would be upset.
Yes.
Because I think she's his hall pass too, but I can't confirm that.
James Comey arrested that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, our priorities are straight on it.
Her, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.